This week on the StressLess Camping RV podcast, we're sort of cleaning out our to-do list.
Yeah, we've got a few stories that aren't enough to fill an entire episode, but just right for a grab bag of camping topics. Or
you might call it the grab bag of ketchup.
I guess so.
Or whatever condiment you might like.
Wow, I relish that. Hey, this podcast is all about cutting the mustard. But anyway.
Oh, boy. I'm Peggy.
And I'm Tony. And we're two RV industry veterans who travel part-time.
In a small trailer.
Looking to share big adventures and help you with great tips.
Tricks.
And discounts.
We'll get our small trailer very soon.
Yeah, boy. In like a week and a half or something like that.
That's right. So you all know that you most know that we've been most of the summer without our travel trailer, our Rockwood Mini Lite 2205S. And first, because it was getting reviewed. No, it was getting repaired. Reviews are what he does. It was getting repaired. And then because we were just going to be back here for a short time, we left it. And we get to pick it up. And this time we're going to keep it.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. Unless we get a new trailer. But
sorry. I thought you were going to say something bad.
No.
Yeah, I suppose that could happen. And if it does, then we'll maybe have to leave it again at ABC Upfitters.
Yeah. So if we do switch trailers, the new one that we're looking at is not available with the power package from the factory, but that's all right, because our friends at ABC Upfitters would be the place we'd go for a great solar and lithium RV power upgrade.
For sure.
And the nice thing is they would use 100% Master Volt components, so everything would work together. They are originally from the marine industry, where basically there's not a lot of failure tolerance, right? I mean, if you're out in the ocean, you don't want your stuff to break.
No way.
So this Master Volt product is really high quality. We've had now 2 of these systems, and they're great.
Yeah.
And our friends are getting the Master Volt system through ABC Upfitters.
That's
installed
right.
in their RV as we speak.
That's right. They sure are.
And they have the same floor plan as the one we're interested in.
For 2025, Rockwood has made some changes to that floor plan.
Yeah, we have the full review at our home on the web.
And that floor plan is the 2506FK.
Right.
And the place that Steve and Kathy are having their system installed doesn't exist in the 2025 version.
The space is in the trailer. They are at ABC Upfitters as we speak.
Right.
And so that's the neat thing, is they can customize these systems so that they work in your van. We just saw them do a monster fifth wheel with
12 or 14, 12, I think, solar panels, 2,400 watts of power on the roof.
Really, they work with you to decide what is right for you, how you like to camp, and then they put in a system, and if things change over time, as it did with our buddy Bill, then they can also upgrade or alter the systems to work for your camping style. So if you like that kind of thinking, and you don't know what year it is, or even if you do, give our friends at ABC Upfitters a call. And how would you do so?
You can call 574-333-3225.
Yep, 574-333-3225. There's a link in the show notes,
or you can go to their new website.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, how long do we keep saying new? It's like new Coke.
Right.
It is
it's way better than new Coke.
Oh, it's way better than new Coke. But I guess it's new because it's only about a month old. So
I think legally 6 months is how long you.
Oh, well, we can keep saying that for a long time then. By then they might have another new one. Websites move quicker than soda pop.
That's true. Well, how about a grab bag of ketchup?
Yeah. I don't even like ketchup. You
don't like ketchup. She doesn't like ketchup.
Can we have a grab bag of mayo? Doesn't make any sense.
That sounds like a bad Halloween prank. Oh, and by the way, if you've got a story for our Halloween episode.
That's coming up.
It's coming up. So, and we are always happy to have input from all of you. You guys have done a great job in the past.
Yeah.
We have a few stories of our own. But anyway, there you go.
So first thing, I guess, is that we went tent camping again.
Yeah, we had planned 3 days in the Jemez Mountains, which is Jemez. Jemez
That's right.
Mountains, right here in beautiful New Mexico.
That's right. And so it was beautiful. We stayed at a campground that our friends Michael and Mickey found, and it was a great campground. It was called San Antonio Campground, and it is a great campground. It was beautiful. There are some smaller sites and some larger sites. We didn't care because we had a tent.
Right.
And unfortunately, it just got so cold at night. We weren't really prepared.
In the low 40s, I believe.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be like maybe down to 50, and I thought that's okay. We can handle that. I took extra blankets to go on top of our RV super bags that we separated and each used individually on our cots. But even with an extra blanket, we were just super, super cold. So we did go home early. It was just, we know now, and we've already, like in the morning as we tried to thaw out over Michael and Mickey's propane fire pit, we realized that if we took we already have all those portable power packages or portable power stations. So if we took a small electric heater, or even if we got one of those propane gas buddies,
I don't know if one of those portable power stations, we have the largest one we have is the Jackery 1500, and we use that to run the cooler. We have a 12-volt ice chest. Mm-hmm. Well, you've heard all this before, and an induction cooktop. And we use the Jackery 1500 to run that. And we were probably there 30 hours total, right? We went the first day. So we had planned 3 days. And then we were late by a day.
Yeah, the first day we just could not get ourselves together on time. So we were late.
So then we went, and it was beautiful. I mean, driving through the Jemez Mountains, it's not what you would expect in New Mexico if you have this vision. New Mexico is a desert. It's got this red rock like you'd think of in Sedona. It's got pine trees. It's mountainous. There was a stream through this campground. I mean, it was really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we were really enjoying it up until about midnight. At which point, ooh la la. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we could have left the cooler open and the food would have stayed just as cold as it had with the power. So I was yapping on about the Jackery. I think over 30 hours getting there, coming back. It's only like an hour and a half from our house, maybe 2.
Less, yeah.
Yeah. Getting there, coming back, running the cooler the whole time, running the cooler outside. I think we dropped to like 76%.
No, I think it was about 50.
Was it? Because we were also using the induction.
But we also used it for the induction cooktop to warm up our dinner and then to make our coffee. So,
I think, one of those, even the big Jackery probably would last maybe an hour or 2 with an electric heater.
But there's also those propane gas. Yeah, they're not gas buddy heaters.
They're Mr. Buddy or
Mr. Buddy, whatever they're called. Anyway, if we had just a small source of heat, or if we were smart enough to maybe camp when it's a little bit warmer at night.
Or if we had the trailer that has a furnace in it.
Well, sure. But that was the point, was we said when we knew that the trailer was going to be in Indiana for an extra time, let's try this tent camping thing that we're always talking about.
One more time. I mean, the first time was a marvelous success. Yeah. The time in Wyoming when we went to see the big boy, it was a huge
temperature
success.
Was perfect.
Right. The temperature was perfect. This time the temperature in the day was perfect, but overnight
just got a little too cool for us. So maybe you like it really cold and you're fine with that. Maybe you're smart enough to take some kind of a heater with you.
Well, but my issue was I have no hair. Well, I do have this hair,
right?
But not this hair.
So the top of your head couldn't get warm,
right? So my head's sticking out of the sleeping bag. We had the blanket and we had the RV super bag, but my head was freezing, freezing. I did not. No me gusta. It was no fun.
So we definitely, I think we definitely want to tent camp in the future again. It's not that this turned us off of it completely. We did enjoy it, and we are really dialing in those things like how long a Jackery will last and that kind of thing. We just have to be more cognizant of the weather and be a little bit more prepared with a hat and a heater. I think would be fine.
A beanie would have been nice.
Yeah.
A beanie would have worked. And I have 2 of them. So
I think this is the time of year.
One that says grumpy on it.
That would have been appropriate.
Yeah, came from Disneyland.
This might be the time of the year that you just put one of those in the truck and always have it in the truck.
Well, there's one in the camper. And that's where
there's
it is.
that.
So again, I mean, the goal is with this truck, which is 4-wheel drive and with the flighted air topper, is to leave the trailer at like a base camp and maybe go out for the night. And the example I've cited multiple times is going to Cerro Gordo. Gosh, I couldn't remember the name of that place.
Absolutely. We could camp down in the valley part, depending on the time of year. Well, no. I was going to say we could camp on either side. We could camp on the Death Valley side, but I don't know if you can really get to Cerro Gordo easily from that side. There's a back road, but the point is, if it's cool enough in Death Valley, it's too cold in Cerro Gordo for us to go tent camping.
Anyway, so one of the things that prompted is talk about our favorite weather app, which I looked at, and by the way, it did say it was going to be in the 50s. But it
lied.
No.
Well,
this is from.
So I think this is probably part of the problem. I don't know if there's a solution for this. When you have a weather app and you put like the town you're going to be in, let's say, so the closest weather station or something might be in Jemez Springs, but we were camped quite a bit higher than the town itself. So unless you're able to pinpoint exactly where you are and find an app that will tell you what's going to happen exactly where you're going to be, you're just getting as close as possible.
Right.
And so we do use the Climb app quite a bit.
It's CLIME. It's on the iPhone. I
think it's on all now.
Is it on Android?
I think.
I don't know for sure. But it's from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So it's your tax dollars hard at work.
That's right. So it actually does have a map version, a map screen. So probably we could have zoomed in and found exactly where our campsite was to see if it gave us any more detailed information. But I mean, you're going to get an estimate. There's never going to be 100% like to the decimal place proper absolute answer. So anyway, that is a great app for the most part. And so what? We survived.
Yeah.
We have something to talk about. We have a plan for next time. But frankly,
the plan is probably just bring the darn trailer.
Well, for the most part, of course. But we're going to
RVers first, and the tent camping is really kind of an auxiliary.
Yeah.
It's sort of like we're hamburger eaters most of the time, but every once in a while.
A steak tastes good?
Well, no, I was thinking like tuna.
Oh, I went the wrong direction.
Yeah. No, I think the RVing is steak.
We're steak eaters most of the time, but once in a while you get a burger.
Okay. I still go tuna because I'm not a big fish eater. So, which is, even though there's something fishy about what I usually talk about.
So anyway, next week we will be let me think. By next week, when you hear us, we will be in Indiana again.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And we will be picking up the mini light, of course, and we'll be staying in the mini light. So we won't have to worry about the temperature quite so much.
Nope.
Daytime still, I don't like cold, so I'll still be prepared because this is the time of year when it could start to get chilly.
Rainy too.
Yeah.
So why we're going to Indiana, and we're linking up with Tony and Tina from TNT RV and a few other content creators. I think Josh, the RV nerd, is going to be there. Matt Foxcroft is going to. So it's a bunch of us people who do RV reviews.
That's right.
Because it's RV Open House. And what that is it's a big open house. It's enormous.
Well,
and it's where the RV industry brings all the latest stuff and puts it on display. And it's for dealers. So it's not really for we content creators.
It's in fact, and it's not for public. So don't get excited and ask how you can go. You can't really. Content creators are kind of not even loved. No, honestly,
they are very restrictive at what they let us do. And so, but we do get to see the new RVs. And last year was the first time I was able to go by myself. And I learned so much there. Well, this year we're going back and Peggy gets to come with me.
Yeah. So I get to learn so much.
Yeah. And it's just really neat to see all the new stuff. But one of the things that we're going to be doing is spending the day at the airport with Lippert. And Lippert makes, if you don't know, most of the chassis for RV, a lot of the suspension systems, a lot of the slide systems, just a lot of the pieces that RVs are made out of. Mm-hmm. And they have rented an airport there where they're going to be showing off some of the new chassis technology that they've come up with in the recent past, including two brand new suspension systems, anti-lock braking systems. I don't know what all else because we have to wait to go there.
We have to wait to go there, but we will get to go there and we'll get to see what Lippert's got on the back burner, on the front burner maybe now.
Yeah.
And get to check that out. So that'll be a fun day for us.
Yeah, part of this, my understanding is they're going to soap the living stink out of this airport. Oh. And they're going to put us in a fifth wheel and drive us around with anti-lock brakes and see what we think.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
So that should be... we're going to absolutely, if they let us, we're going to have video of that.
For sure.
Because that's going to be a hoot.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will be at this open house. And while it is for dealers, we are, we can, if we don't get in the way, we can listen to representatives talk to dealers and things like that. I'm sure they would answer questions for us. So while we're there, do you have something that you would like us to find out? Do you want, is there something in particular you want to see? And I don't mean like the 2025 2506 FK. I mean,
got the year.
I mean, like, what do chassis look like? I don't know. So,
Yeah, if you have a question that you'd like to have us find out for you, sort of an inside the industry question.
Yeah.
Use our Facebook group and let's develop a collection of those because we'll be right there with the manufacturers. So
yeah.
So reach out, let us know.
Is that going to be our question of the week this week?
Oh, why not? Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So when we get to question of the week, we'll ask again and then we'll post it so that helps you remember that that's what we want to know this week.
Yeah, sounds good. So then once we leave Indiana, there are 2 exciting events that we're going to.
2 exciting events. So then we have about a week. So to get from Indiana to Amana, Iowa, we're going to Harvest Host Hop is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
I'm looking at just breweries. Oh, yes. So we can stay at a different Harvest Host brewery each night of our trip between Indiana and Iowa.
You know what happens when I go to a brewery? I need to write the word dunce across.
Yeah, you do. And one of those nights, I think the first night, we're actually meeting up with our friend Steve and Kathy so we can see their brand new ABC Upfitters power package system.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
I can't wait. So that's going to be one of their first actual tests.
Yeah.
At a brewery at Harvest Host. And Steve and I, we may both have a teeny affinity for beer.
If you don't own stock in hops, this might be a good time to look into that.
Right?
Anyway, then when we get to Amana, we'll be there for a while because 2 weekend events are happening in a row. First weekend that we're there is Frogtoberfest.
Right.
And that is, Amana has an Oktoberfest and Frog has a group that goes to it. So it's not like they're making their own Oktoberfest. Frog, the Forest River Owners Group, is going as a group to attend Oktoberfest. So that will be on the first weekend that we're there. And then the next weekend that we're there is the RV Miles homecoming.
Yeah. So that's with our friends Jason and Abby and a whole bunch of other folks from RV Miles gathering in the same campground as Frogtoberfest. Just to clarify, Frog is the Forest River Owners Group. You may have already said that.
I said that.
And they do a bunch of events, including the Balloon Fiesta. They go to
They do. Well, that event is they go to Durango, Colorado for a couple days, and then they go to Balloon Fiesta for a few days. So our friend Bill has done that, I think, twice, and that is a really fun. But if you have any RV that's built by any Forest River brand, you should look into being part of Frog because they do, among other things. Last month we went to their annual rally, annual rally, their big rally, but they also do all these events all over the country and lots of fun events. So this will be other than the main rallies, this will be our first time at a Frog rally that's not the big rally.
And it'll be our first time at RV Miles Homecoming.
It'll be our first time at RV Miles Homecoming. It'll be our first time at Amana's Oktoberfest. Certainly not our first Oktoberfest by any means. And so, and last night, Jason and Abby were talking about the Renaissance Festival usually happens around that same time in Amana, but they're not sure if it's going to happen during that weekend. So that's something I have to look into.
Yep.
So Oktoberfest and Renaissance and meetups and festivals and it's going to be a fun month.
Some of you all might be out there too, so let's cross paths. And
for sure. Let us know if you're going to be. Yeah.
Or two.
or two.
So then
when we leave Amana Colonies after the RV Miles homecoming, our friend Beverly sent us a link to the fact that the big boy is currently traveling to the East Coast, and just exactly when we're going to be coming home from Amana Colonies, the big boy will be going home to Wyoming, and we'll make a few stops in the state of Kansas. Now, you know our history with Kansas, right? That's where we got rear-ended, and so we've had a little bit of trouble with Kansas, but we might chase the big boy through Kansas that week. It's like somewhere around the, 10th, 12th of October, something like that. So if that's something that you're also interested in, we might be doing that. So let us know, and maybe we can hook up and hoist a beer one night while we're watching the big boy run through the city.
The last time, if you didn't hear, we went to Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is where they store. The big boy is the world's largest operating steam locomotive. So it is a 1.2 million pound, just behemoth. And Union Pacific has what they call their heritage fleet. And they completely restored this thing, and they're running it around the country and showing it off. And it's a big deal wherever it goes. Last time we were in Laramie, and we were having a beer and a burger, and I hear it.
So the idea was that we were going to go to Cheyenne and watch the big boy come home to Cheyenne. But we had a few hours to kill, and we were midway camping between Cheyenne and Laramie. So we said, let's just go over to Laramie. We'll have our lunch there, and then we'll go back over to Cheyenne and see the big boy. So we're sitting waiting for our lunch, and Tony looks over there.
You can hear this thing.
His eyes got as big as platters. He's like, there it is. And he took off, left the restaurant, and ran across the parking lot.
I literally ran across the street, across the park. You ever want to see a fat dude run?
Just put a train in front of him.
So anyway, we'll put a link to where you can see where the big boy will be, because it's basically a huge publicity stunt for Union Pacific. And so they have this big locomotive running around right now, and they say where it's going to stop, and you can go see it. And it's truly an impressive sight. So
yeah. So we maybe go and see it run through Kansas next month. And next month, October. Whoosh.
Ooh-wee.
Alrighty. So the next
big news.
The next piece of catch up. The next packet of catch up
is the Family Motor Coach Association, which is the FMCA, and we have been pretty vocal about being friends of the FMCA or fans of the FMCA, whatever you want to call it. They changed their name, and to be quite honest, the FMCA started in the 60s with bus conversions, and was a group of people who converted buses, and then it grew and grew and grew, and has a bunch of great resources for we RVers right now. But people just aren't joining organizations like they used to.
Right.
I mean, if you have a local Kiwanis or Rotary or anything like that, if you're aware of them, really joining organizations is on the decline, unfortunately. And that's true of the FMCA too. A few years ago, they voted to allow towable RVs in.
Right.
So travel trailers and fifth wheels.
But I think that perhaps Family Motor Coach Association, if people don't, kind of read the description and know what that is, they see Motor Coach Association and they say, oh, I have a towable. That's not for me.
Right.
And that was true up until about 5 years ago or so. It was a Motor Coach Association, and only buses and Class A's were in it.
So now they're trying to be more open about embracing towables, and hence the big name change, FRCA.
RV.
FRVA. Right.
Family RV Association.
Right. And so they have a few, like 2 months ago, month ago, whatever, we interviewed the head of the FMCA at that time. He has since left. Again, they have their troubles right now.
Sure.
But they also have some great reasons to join. So they now have associate members for those who, maybe have hung up the keys, but still want to go. Because one of the absolute truths about this is when you go to these conventions and they have regional chapters, they have chapters for special interests, like
so many.
A train chapter, for example.
Yeah.
Called Golden Spike. You tend to make these friends and just keep them because they're, we all have RVing in common.
Right.
And so a lot of people make these lifelong friends, but if maybe you're just, I'm not going to RV anymore, or I'm going to retire from RVing, so that's associate member. They also have, if you're thinking, oh, I want to be an RVer, one of the things that the FRVA has is this huge library of fantastic resources. And so they have this Pathfinder membership. And both Pathfinder and Associate, I believe you can go to the regional events, the conventions and such.
Okay.
So Pathfinder isn't that new. Chris talked about it
whenever it was, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So, but those are options. So if you're not if you're not an active RVer right now, you feel like maybe you don't want to join the FRVA because you're not an RVer. These are some ideas of things that you can do so you can still be involved. You can still get some of the benefits. You can still know about the events. And so it's a really good, alternatives to being part of the club.
Yeah, a full membership.
Or, I'm sorry, the family.
Right. That's right. That's how they're referring to it. So they're also planning. So one of the biggest reasons a lot of people join is this medical evaluation. There you. Yeah, they're good. Hey, you look kind of sick today. Hang on, where's my hat?
Change one letter.
Yeah. This medical evacuation and travel assistance benefit.
Right.
And basically, if you get sick out there on the road, this works to get you and your RV and the people who are with you home And it's a huge deal. So let's say you fall and break your leg and you can't drive for 6 weeks or however long it takes. And you have your RV and you're in, Hoobie-Doo, Kansas or whatever. Hoobie-Doo, Kansas.
Hoobie-Doo, Kansas. I'm sure the big boy goes right through there next
Right?
month.
Well, it goes, hoo-hoo, I'm in Hoobie-Doo. Oh, my word. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
And you live in Florida or whatever. They actually can work with you to get you and your RV and even your pets back home and your people.
Right.
So it's a huge benefit. But one of the things that's happened is the company that FRVA contracts with to provide the benefit raised the price by like double
a lot.
Or triple.
Yeah, like triple.
And so right now, if you sign up for the FRVA, the membership is only $50 a year plus $10 the first year. However, that is likely to go up to maybe as much as $100 a year. I don't know that, and
now,
I don't think they've decided yet.
Right, and I think that's true. They haven't decided, but what they kicked around for a minute was to not retain that medical evacuation benefit, so I mean, to me, even if it goes up to $100 a year, it's still worth that alone. If you didn't take advantage of any of the other things, that is worth the membership.
Insurance that does that, it's going to be more than your FRVA membership anyway.
Yeah.
And there's also tire discounts and stuff discounts and educational. You get a magazine. There's a ton of reasons to join. And we do have a discount.
Yeah, speaking of discounts. Yeah.
And so we'll put a link in our show notes to where we have that discount because that's still valid. So there you go. And that, by the way, when we talked to Chris was episode 255.
Yep.
Now, another big thing.
Yeah. So then we were corresponding with FRVA, and we did a lot of conventions. We went to several conventions, and then we kind of have been doing other things, and I'm so sad. We missed the convention in Oregon because gosh, Oregon.
Right.
But the next convention is in March in Perry, Georgia. And we went there, I guess 2 years ago in 2023, it must have been. And we have been asked if we are coming back. And they also said they would like to talk to us about the 3-day RV training course that we teach.
Yeah, so we may be doing our RV basic training. So if you've heard us talk about this, it's basically, we say it's the 2-day version of your 1-hour walkthrough. So we go through all the systems in the RV and make sure you understand them, and tips for how to make sure your RV doesn't fall apart and how not to have troubles on the road, all of that. Well, we may be doing that at the FRVA. So we don't know yet. That's obviously, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But we have also been asked to give some of our seminars, and we have some new ones.
That's right. We've been working on some new seminars. And we've had a couple other inquiries, actually, to be speakers. And so, unfortunately, one of them was the Kansas City RV show. It's the same time as the Quartzsite RV show. So we had to decline that one. But who knows? We may be going on a extensive speaking circuit in the upcoming year.
More places that'll kick us out. No.
Oh no! So stay tuned. We always love to meet up with folks when we are in different places, and so we try to use this place to tell you when and where we're going to be, at least approximately, if we even know what we're doing. And so the reason that we do that is so that you can say, wait, what? You're going to be in my neighborhood? Let's grab lunch.
Yeah,
coffee,
absolutely.
Beer, coffee, whatever you want to grab. So, well, wait a minute.
Now, hold on a second.
So anyway, we are teaching seminars in Quartzsite also, apparently 2 a day.
2 a day.
2 a day. And so rather than repeat the same one over and over, we have been coming up with ideas for, we have kind of our big 3, the 3 that we teach everywhere all the time.
Chrysler.
And so we have been well, I think we would bore ourselves if we did those same 3 over and over. So we're coming up with different topics. I think Tony posted the other day on the StressLess Campers group, like if you were in Quartzsite and you're going to a seminar, what would you like the topic to be so that we can consider that? There were some good suggestions. And so we're working on our seminar. We're expanding our seminar list. So hopefully you can come to Quartzsite and see us there and listen to one of our seminars. And don't forget that after the big show, the Quartzsite Sports Vacation and RV show. Oh. I got it right. Yay. Then we as StressLess Camping will just go out to the desert and
spend a week out there.
Out there with people and just have a meet up there. Now it will be in the BLM 14-day limit area. And we didn't write this down, but there is some talk going around. There may be some changes in Arizona with the, what's it called? LT long-term visitor area, LTVA. That, as I understand it, we haven't done this, but as I understand it, at this point, you can pay something like $200, and that gives you permission to stay out there like any amount of the 7 months that it covers, something like that. That price is not scheduled, not planned, but proposed to go up to in the $600 range, which if you stay for 7 months, it's still fairly reasonable, but we don't know what's going to happen with that. We will try to keep followed up on that, but we are never going to stay 7 months. So we just go to the part of the BLM where it's free, but you can only stay for 14 days, which is fine because that's usually longer than we're able to put in our schedule anyway. So, but if you are able to come to Quartzsite either during or after the Sports Vacation and RV show, we hope that we will be able to hook up with you and have a coffee.
Yeah, or maybe go to Beer Bellies, the adult daycare center.
That's right.
Peggy has also been working on, if you haven't seen on our website, there is a really good RV show calendar. And Peggy's been working on that pretty extensively. A lot of new RV shows are coming, and a lot of the shows that have been popular in the past are coming back. So if you're looking for an RV show, it's a great place to start.
Yep.
So, well, that's as much ketchup as I think we have.
I'm full of ketchup.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, you know what I don't put ketchup on? Shrimp and zoodles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So our recipe this week is 1 pan, easy peasy, shrimp, and I suppose you could use noodles, but we happen to like to use zucchini, and we have a spiralizer that cuts it up into spiral noodles, and so we call them zoodles. And so this week's recipe is shrimp and zoodles. It has kind of a creamy white sauce.
It's so Peggy is having some issues with a lot of tomato product.
Yeah.
Just basically like if she eats a lot of pasta with spaghetti with tomato sauce, her stomach bugs her.
Yeah, pizza, I have to be careful. So sad. But you know what? Pizza with white garlic sauce, no problem.
Yeah, and
last week we talked about the
chicken crust pizza.
Chicken crust pizza. So anyway, I tend to look for recipes that are very low carb and very low tomato.
So you'll find this recipe at our home on the web, but it was really good. It's shrimp and zucchini noodles.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
And a cream sauce.
So this week, our gadget is I get these press releases from a company called IOSSO, IOSSO, and they have all kinds of crazy sprays and lubes and cleaners, just tons of stuff for a lot the marine industry, but a lot the RV industry. And this week, I happened to get, well, not this week, it was a few weeks ago, got an email about zipper cleaner. And we talk about the flated truck camper, and I think the one thing we've said we don't like is that flap in the back, and part of that is the zippers.
Yeah.
The zippers are really high quality, but they're outside, it gets dusty. So when I saw this, I said, hey, where do I buy it? And it's the IOSO Easy Snap Zipper and Snap Lubricant.
Ooh.
It says it waterproofs and lubricates and reduces friction. So that's what it looks like. Well, you can just buy it on Amazon. So we'll put a link in the show notes. But it just works. So if you have like the tent that we used has a zipper. Oh,
yeah.
Put this on that.
Right.
Especially that the inflated truck campers, those huge zippers, and they're under a fair amount of stress because they kind of hold the sides together.
So I will be curious. I don't know that I really need it, but I have some purses that have those magnetic snaps.
Oh.
And sometimes they are so sticky that I rip the fabric of the purse trying to unsnap the snap. So I might play with that a little bit on a snap on a purse that I've already ripped and see if it kind of lubricates that snap a little bit.
But that's a magnet, not mechanical snap. But why not try it?
I mean,
right?
it's kind of mechanical.
Okay.
And it's just, I don't know if it's the magnet's too strong or the snap itself is too tight. I don't know.
Yeah. So some other stuff this IOSO makes, fiberglass reconditioner. That might be good for some trailers. They make metal polish, teak cleaner, live well cleaner. Obviously, that's for fishing boats. Tent and camping gear cleaner.
Wait, cooler cleaner. We need a gallon of that.
Where's that?
Right there.
Oh, look at that. Removes mildew and deodorant. Well, you know what? I wonder if that would work in an RV fridge. I don't know because I can't. Ice chests, thermos bottles, and plasticware.
Perhaps if you accidentally left your refrigerator closed when it was off and it got a little mildew.
Oh, they also have awning cleaner.
Well, there you go.
Interesting. Oops. This company makes interesting stuff. So IOSSO, but we'll put a link on to Amazon where you can get your very own tube if you want it.
Of zipper cleaner. All right. Are there zippers on your RV of the week? These are some pretty lame segues.
Oh my gosh. I don't. Oh, I'm sure there are on like seat cushions.
There you go.
There you go. I don't know if I'd clean them, but anyway, this week I got a chance to look at the Forest River No Boundaries or NOBO 20.1, and what this is there are more and more of these RVs now where there's a big long counter on the campsite where the stove and the microwave and the refrigerator are, and then theater seats on the roadside and a bed of some sort. And in some cases, it's just a proper queen size bed. In other cases, it's a Murphy bed, and that's what this NOBO is. And the Murphy bed is an actual queen size bed, but you can leave it down. It does not interfere with the slide when it's down.
Okay.
So if you're like, I hate Murphy beds. Well, they made these RV suites in the past, which are like semi-permanent dwelling RVs. And they're all the rage right now. But those are really, the styling is interesting because it's very tasteful to me of those RV suites. And that's what they did to their travel trailer line. So there are no swooshes, no swirls, none of this tacky carnival float graphics that I dislike so much. It's just straight lines, browns and greens, like you'd see in a forest. I love the appearance of this thing. And inside, it's got green cabinets. And I don't know if that's going to float some folks' boat or if you're not going to like it. So it's interesting to see this. There are a number of things I really liked about the way they did this. They have one of those new sinks that has the glass washer and all the little pieces that go in. It's only a propane cooktop and no oven, but there's a microwave convection oven. You can get it with just a plain old leaf spring suspension, or you can get it with the beast mode, which is the coil spring suspension from Kurt that I like so much. So an interesting choice. It's overlanding trailers, which this sort of is targeted at are one of the sort of highlights in the RV industry right now. But this is not that overlanding like an Ember would do much better, right? An Ember is really well suited for overlanding. And this kind of started with Rockwood with the GeoPro E-Pros that were more adventure-y, overlanding e-trailers. And there's a lot of stuff like the Shower Miser and other features that are better for off-grid camping. This is sort of a regular travel trailer with an optional good suspension, but I really like the interior.
Well, then I guess we can, we sometimes have a maintenance reminder, and sadly, I guess this is the time I have to start saying, check out the winterizing guides. I see people already doing it. I know, so sad. Hey, you know what? Don't do that. Don't do any of that winterizing. Don't stop camping. Just come to Quartzsite.
Yeah, there you go.
Come and visit us. It's warm there.
Yeah, because you don't want to hear.
And speaking of that, last week I asked the question of the week, will you be snowbirding? Now, I also did ask if you'd be snowboarding, because every time I tried to write the word snowbirding, I got auto-corrected. And some of you only answered that you would not be snowboarding. You didn't tell me if you'd be snowbirding.
Huh.
So if you're loving the snow and you're going snowboarding, good for you. Congratulations. Yeah. If you are traveling south for the winter to get to where you don't have to worry about snow like we are doing, good for you. And if you are just staying in the house because it's cold and snowy outside and you can't leave, see you next year.
Yeah. So
this week, as we said earlier, we'll ask the question of the week. While we're at RV Open House, is there something in particular that you would like us to learn to report back to you?
Yeah. Or, do you have a question for the RV industry? And you can answer that at our fun and friendly StressLess Campers Facebook group.
That's right. You can also sign up, if you haven't already, for our once a week newsletter. Yep. It's absolutely free. It's very easy to sign up. There are places all over the website where you can do that.
Adding more places.
But particularly at the bottom of every page, you can sign up. And what we do is send you once a week an email with a newsletter that has links to stories and videos and podcasts and whatever we think that will help you get the most out of your RV experience.
Yep. And you'll find the show notes for this episode 272, on the podcast page at StressLessCamping.com, where you'll find both the video and audio versions of this podcast.
Yeah. You'll also find our deals and discounts page for the best deals on things you'll need for your stressless camping adventure, including a discount to FMCA.
FRVA.
Sorry, FRVA.
Yeah.
And if you know of a deal that we don't already have, please let us know. We would be happy to share that with the rest of the group.
And of course, we're in all the social paces.
Paces?
We're in all the social places, but you can start at StressLessCamping.com and from there jump off to all the places that you'll find us.
If you don't want to miss a future episode of the StressLess Camping Podcast,
it's free.
It's free to subscribe on any podcast catcher, and we are saving you a seat around our virtual campfire.
Yep. Oh, and don't forget that those reviews really help others learn about the StressLess Camping Podcast. And of course, the more people who listen, the more discounts and deals we can get for everybody. So anybody who's reviewed, thank you. If you haven't, you still can.
Please do.
And of course, don't forget to share things that you found on the StressLess Camping website on socials. That really helps too.
And if you don't know how to do that, there's also a page on the website that explains how to share. And I think there's also a tip in the newsletter.
Yeah, there always is. So there you go.
We hope you're full of all that grab bag stuff. We appreciate you joining us this week. And as always, stressless camping.
in.
Well, kind of.
Well, mostly.
They have the same number, but this year, 2205, Rockwood did a lot of changes on that floor plan.
Wait.
Did I say 2205?
Yes, 2024.
This year.
2025. Oh my gosh. There's
this
too many
year,
of the same number.
This year for 2205.
I was saving that because I was doing another video where I needed a dunce cap, but
I get it. Okay, so let me try that again. For 2205, Rockwood.
For 2025.
Oh my heavens!